Alright, I want you to think fast. Is this a film photo? Is it digital? What about this one? This one? Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. I'll reveal the answers in just a second. In this corner, weighing in at 1.16 pounds, equipped with a 26.1 megapixel APS-C X-Trend CMOS 4 sensor, the FujiFilm XT4. And in this corner, the reigning champion, weighing in at 1.3 pounds, the tank of a camera I dropped off a moving car. It's the go-to film camera in my collection. You know it, you love it. It's the Pentax K100. Today they go head-to-head, the XT4 loaded up with a Portra 400 recipe, the Pentax K1000 loaded up with an actual roll of Portra 400. Who will win? Let's find out in this first ever episode of Film Fight. Let's revisit the photos from the beginning of the video. Here are the results. Are you surprised? Did you get it right? Let me know in the comments below. First off, FujiFilm recipes. Some of you might be saying, "What the hell is even that?" Basically, Fuji recipes are presets that you dial into your camera. There's an awesome community of people who create Fuji recipes based on film stocks. When you shoot with these recipes, it marries the look onto your JPEG. Keep in mind that you could set your camera to save both the version with the recipe look baked into it alongside a raw file for you to mess with in case you don't like the recipe. I'll link the Portra 400 recipe I used in the description below. Right out of the gate, Fuji recipes appeal to me for a couple of reasons. 1, Kodak keeps raising their prices. 2, I don't have to edit the photos when I'm done taking them. And 3, it's kind of a fun way to shoot. I think the Fuji recipe tends to make things look a little too warm. And just so you know, I scanned all these photos with the Epson V550 and edited them in Negative Lab Pro. Just in case you're curious, here's a side-by-side of what the Epson scan software did in terms of color, and here's my edit. Either way you slice it, it seems like the Fuji recipe is just a little bit warmer than the film itself. That said, I really do like the look of the digital photos. Even if they're not 100% authentic to Portra 400, they have a nice mojo about them. It's just a nice look that I'm kind of into. I think the area where Fuji really excels is the way they emulate the grain. I'm not a big advocate for pixel peeping, but check this out. I should take a second here to mention that this is not a purely scientific battle. I don't have an adapter for my Pentax K-mount lenses, so I just tried to mimic the focal length using my native FujiFilm glass. With that in mind, there's a fair deal of eyeballing going on, but I tried to keep the compositions as close as humanly possible.
So that was a fucking lie.
My first couple of shots on the XT4 were super warm, like uncomfortably warm. Like, did that gross kid over there just pee in the pool warm? The reason that was happening was because I was adapting my Super Takumar 50mm f1.4 and the glass is pretty yellowed on that lens. It was something I didn't really account for, so I decided to just go with my native Fujifilm glass moving forward on the experiment. I think using the modern Fujifilm glass was a mistake though, because just compared to the Pentax lenses, it's just so optically perfect. There's just such a clear difference between the types of lenses. So if you are going to be messing around with Fujifilm recipes, it might be smart to invest in an adapter so that you can use your older lenses on the new camera. There's definitely pros and cons for both digital and film. For the digital, it's really awesome to use these recipes because there's basically no editing and no scanning. But on the other hand, it's just not the same, both in terms of process and in terms of the look. They do look good, but to me, you can definitely tell which one is the film photo and which one's the digital photo. That said, with Instagram or YouTube compression, that line starts to get a little blurred. In terms of film, there are a ton of positives. I really love the look, I really love the aesthetic. Who can forget about the toes? And overall, I just love the process. I love shooting it, I love developing it, I don't really love scanning it very much, but still overall, I love how hands-on and tactile the experience feels. But on the other hand, Kodak keeps raising their prices, which is awesome. You have to develop and scam them, which does take time, it does take more money, and if you're not into that part of the process, it can really be a lot. And of course, there's the aforementioned scanning, which, I'm not a big fan of. I shared 3 of these photos on my Instagram story and asked the question, film or digital. The results were kind of surprising to me. All three of these photos were digital, and while people were able to tell on the first one, the cactus photo, the plant shadow shot was pretty split and the cracked up paint was a landslide for film. Obviously, I know which photo is which because I took them and scanned them and edited them. If you were to come to my office and look at them side by side, full resolution in Lightroom or whatever, you'd most likely be able to tell which one is which. But most of you are watching this on YouTube or seeing my photos on Instagram, and once that compression kicks in, it gets a lot harder to tell. Where are most people going to consume your photos? Probably on the internet. And while we're on the topic of most people, the average person probably doesn't care whether you shot something on film or digital.
Turns out, no one cared.
It all comes down to what makes you happy. Forget the hype trends and embrace the tones! And whether your tones come from digital or from film, I still love you. So who's the winner? I don't know yet. In my mind, there's no clear winner because there's plenty of positives and negatives for both film and digital. Get it? Negatives? That was unintentional. Jokes aside, my instinct is to lean towards the film, but the digital isn't a write-off. There's enough there that's intriguing to make me say, I want to test this out some more. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of these FujiFilm recipes? Do you think they're close? Do you think they're getting closer? Or do you think they're way off? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And thank you so much for joining me on this first ever film fight. Let me know if you want to see more of these film fights, and make sure you share this video to all your friends who like film, photography, videos. I don't care, share it. Thanks for watching, guys. This video is now over.
Like and subscribe. Sweet Lou Photography. Dumb man.